Greetings and peace and love. My name is Kwa Matab, also known as Meta LP, and even shorter and easier, LP. Welcome to Home of I Am. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to having an enjoyable and fantastic time with all of our beloved guests, and especially our meditation specialist, our artistic expressionist, and of course, our featured presenter. Before we begin, I'd like to go over just a few protocols for Home of I Am. Because we're on Zoom, we're on this virtual world now, right? So we're all getting comfortable. I'm certainly getting comfortable. I'm an old school guy, but I'm learning quickly. So just generally, and I'm sure everyone knows, but if you would, please keep your mics muted during the meeting. Appreciate that. There will be some time later on where we'll be able to share and converse with each other. Use that chat box. That's a cool thing, the chat box, for questions to the presenter. They will be addressed upon the completion of the presentation. And of course, also in the chat box, you can feel free to include your name, your email address, and any other contact information that you feel comfortable including in that chat box. Listen, this is a platform. We're here to share, enjoy each other, share wonderful things about each other. The aim that we all have that we'll talk about later, I've coined it AEM. Of course, and I know I don't have to say this, but please, just, let's all be very respectful to the presenter and to each other, and be mindful of profanity and any other kind of, maybe offbeat or hard language, because Home of I Am is for everyone. And it is possible we may have some young kings and queens listening in close by, gathering up and harnessing some of this wonderful knowledge that's being shared with everyone. Some of you may even have an icon that allows you to raise your hand. Time permitting, at the end, we'll answer those questions. Again, you can use those, I think they call them emojis. You can clap and give a fist and all of that good stuff. So just a few things just to keep in mind, all right? And listen, we're growing, so please feel free to email any suggestions or thoughts or comments. My email address is www.metalp@gmail.com. That's www.metalp@gmail.com. Thank you. So here we are at Home of I Am. It's the home of greatness, the home of God, the home of goodness. And like many of us, we've all gone through transitions in our life and journeys, if you will. And I've certainly had mine. Been through a lot, had a wonderful and still have a wonderful family, a beautiful wife who's have supported me for many, many years. Well, through part of my journey, I started to receive downloads as I was questioning just everything. Who are we? Where are we? Where's this world going to? It's very fluid, bubbly. And I remember receiving what some of us may feel is a download or a message from the Creator, the spirits, angels, our ancestors, the ascended masters. And the vibration came to me that said, today, this was back in November of 2011, it said, today I proclaim the greatness in I Am. I am at one with the most great spirit. I am great. I am excellent. I attract all beauty. I am assistance. And that stuck with me. It was in my heart. I was going through it, right? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and making it through, and just trying to, it's been a life journey, really, since I've been a little toddler. And I've been pushing that envelope. I remember telling the Creator, listen, I want the truth. I want the truth, not everyone else's truth, right? And I went out on the spiritual cliff, and I just told the Creator, I'm jumping off. Okay, so I'm have faith in you. You're not going to let me splash and splatter, but I'm going to deprogram from everything and anything, and I'm going after it. So During that time, the Creator was just waking me up at all times, and it said to me that today that I was taking the first step from the upper realms. They told me to set up a forum where one can just feel safe to proclaim and discover the I am within themselves, right? That greatness, that God, that goodness, that would be free from any and all criticism, politics or political viewpoints, religious special interests and the like. I mean, I know we all come from different facets of life, but we all have this inner voice that speaks truth, you know. I wanted to set up a place where one can call on the greatest spirit of all great spirits to awaken what I feel is the innate great spirit within. And I said at that point, and so I awake. So essentially, home of I am it's a conduit of thought, right? I mean, we're these vessels where the light is always coming through all of us. And this platform, we're currently seeking people from all over the nation and really all over the world to be presenters in this forum. I mean, I could see members of all different kinds of organizations, religious leaders and homeless folks and politicians. I mean, this is what the forum is for, right? To express our greatness. So Home of I Am essentially is a place and space for all persons, really just of high thought. And our theme generally is just our aim. I call it AEM, which the acronyms stand for our awareness, our expansion, and our movement. And we just ask our presenters to share their mission, their work, their passion. That's essentially their aim. So again, I am home, or home of I am, or this home within you invites just all people to be guests and presenters. I mean, just a few things that come off the top of my mind in terms of people and walks of life, and there's many, right? There's 330 million plus or minus people here in the United States, and 7.5 to 8 billion plus or minus in the world, right? So we have many people. Some are homeless. We have some great leaders. We have musicians and artists, educators, children, healers, activists, the abused, folks who are what we can consider they advocate for folks, the great thinkers, the ordinary people, the extraordinary people, the introverts, the extroverts, all genders, all hues. Of course, our ancestors, the terrestrials, the extraterrestrials, and without me even saying, the wonderful ascended masters. So moving forward from 2011 to 2019, I'm going through it. I mean, I am going through it, and I had to have the Creator bless me with I would consider a ride or die wife. Her name is Jacinta Parsons, and she's been here with me. We've been shoulder to shoulder, back to back, elbow to elbow. And we've been through many things, and we continue to push that envelope, right? So as I move forward now, and I've come into some great awarenesses, right? And a lot of people are, but I'm speaking personally for myself, where the light is on. I mean, it is on full throttle. I can barely sleep these days, right? So it was around November of 2019. And I just laid on the floor. I was crying. I was weeping to the Creator. And I just said, I submit. I submit today. I submit to the greatest wishes of that great I am within. And I said, today, this haven's first block of energy has been laid in love. And so that's my commitment, right? I started this in the platform in 2019. Oh, I should say January of 2020, actually. We went a couple of months. We've had a couple of events and took some time off to kind of readjust. We're back here on Zoom. I said maybe I would go to 2020. But I tell you, it's taken off, and I've already had the first quarter of 2021 booked with presenters, right? So going back to 2011, And I remember, and I've had tons of writings that I've received, and that I'll have some books coming out in the future, right? But I remember back then it said the journey back to one requires true transformation, uninhibited by what I would call the middle road. Your way back to me was what the Creator said is your true life's journey. Becoming one, becoming your I am, is truly the road to pureness of true liberty. So many examples in our lives in settling for just enough, So many times accepting almost as a good effort. But they said God is the best beloved. So our format, in closing, before we move on with libations, and we'll have some meditations and some wonderful artists, and of course we're leading to our wonderful presenters. Our format is very simple. We have a welcome, kind of what you're hearing now, read a statement of purpose. Sometimes, depending on who the presenter is, we'll have an artistic expression, and that could be anything: spoken word, music, photography, video, poems, anything that is just artistic to a person that wants to share. Then we'll have a meditation. We'll move forward after the meditation to another artistic expression, and then we'll have our featured presenter. At that point, we kind of combine a few things. I would call it like open floor and sharing, maybe some takeaways, maybe some actionable thoughts, right? So it's a time to kind of unify all of our greatness, our great I am. And it's just my hope that people can find a wonderful vibration, a powerful energy here, and take it and kind of make it your own. And then we'll close with a artistic expression. So again, thank you for being here and bringing all of the love and all of the power and all of the light. Okay, peace. All right, greetings everyone. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Give me a put your hand up or a little powwow that everyone is good. I'd like to say greetings to everyone. My name is Lakon. Some folks call me LP. Some people call me Meta LP. Just really happy and to be here with everyone today to welcome you to our home of I Am gathering. We have some exciting folks coming to share some powerful inner power with us today. We'd like to open up our meetings with some form of libations just to give gratitude and ask for blessings for this platform from the great ancestors and ascended masters, okay? So I'm going to turn that over to Jacinta.
All set?
That's great.
All right. Good evening, all. Welcome to Home of I Am. And we like to begin Home of I Am by, in the tradition of our ancestors, offering libation. This practice is to welcome in, to request our ancestors, our loved ones, our dear ones that have passed on, to ask them to join us, to surround us, to protect us, to support us as we venture into this gathering this evening. And so, as I pour libations, I will ask that all of you, each in your own way, in your heart, through your voice, or in your spirit, to call out the name of someone who has passed on, of a dear ancestor, of a loved one, and invite them in as we pour libation and we call their name. Pour libation, call their name. Pour libations and call their name. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo.
Thank you, Jacinta. We appreciate that power and the love that you bring here to the spirits. So again, we'd like to welcome everyone to this platform. We've been putting together these meetings, these gatherings, like once a month. I think we started somewhere. I think it was either December 2019 or January 2020. We put together a few of them, and of course, we've had some events that has kind of put the world through a bit, if you will, right? And so we all have different thoughts and feelings and emotions about that, and I think that's a great thing. So we took a couple of months off, and then we came back on the virtual platform, right? So here we all are making the best of things, learning new ways to communicate and to continue to be with each other, and potentially and possibly even at a higher level. So coming. So at this point, I'd like to uh, bring on my dear first cousin, Grady Fowler. He's going to open up with a beautiful artistic expression. He is a writer and a poet, and we look forward to him sharing some of that powerful words of his. So it's on you, Mr. Fowler.
Life as a thought. The mind is like a warm ocean wave. Upward sky is the cerebral thought. Downward thinking is the mentalist thought. So comparing thoughts of life to a warm ocean wave helps me gather all the thoughts I have. When thinking the good things in life, I should never take it in stride. Me, myself, a thought I'll keep, a happy one. Of others, I will never win.
Thank you, Greg. We appreciate it. At this point, we're going to go into a meditation of a dear friend, Monica Pierce. She's out in Mobile, Alabama. We've known her for many, many years. We've done music business and art business and so many things. So thank you, Monica, for coming on to lead us in a meditation. We'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. A warm welcome to everyone from chilly Mobile, Alabama, which is an anomaly, but I'm so excited to have some cool weather. I'm going to start by lighting this candle. I hope you can all see it. Perhaps when I light it, you will be able to. And Lakon asked me to lead a meditation with full awareness that I have not done this in years. I had to go inside a little bit and I had to pull up some things that I may have pushed aside. I've been dealing with a physical struggle this past year, and I've kind of lost contact with my grounding. And so what I want to do tonight is just a simple grounding meditation. And I ask your indulgence because, as I said, it has been a long time since I've done this. I want to start with everyone. We're going to do 5 breaths. Please use a 4 count in through your nose, a 4 count out through your mouth. And so if we could all just center in our chairs and do these 5 breaths. Now I would ask you to settle in your chair and place your hands palm down on your knees and have your feet firmly planted on the ground. I would like for you to, through your breath, become aware of the weight of your body in this time and space. So just continue to breathe normally. Feel the weight of your body settling in your chair. And then once you are settled and calm, I would like for you, starting with your shoulders, to relax them. I know mine have been tight today. So as we go through the body, tense and then relax. So let's start with our shoulders. So we tense them up and then relax. And then we can move to our arms, which we will tense and then relax. And move on down to your solar plexus, which is where we usually hold all of the cares of the day. So let's relax that little part and give it some strokes of love to let it know that all is well and that we are okay and will be okay. And then move your awareness now to your hips. Our hips are kind of the workhorse of our body, which I don't think we often give enough credit to. But they perform a great service. They help to propel us through the day in all of our chores. And so let's become aware of our hips, tense and relax that area of your body. And then we're going to move on to our knees, also another workhorse of our body. And since I've been going through physical therapy, I am acutely aware of what the knees do. So tense your knees and then relax. Take a few breaths and let's move down to our feet. And then I want you to visualize with me. I want you to visualize being in a deep forest somewhere, sitting on a stump of a former tree, but your feet are firmly planted in the ground. There may be some moss, there may be some dried leaves, any kind of nature, there may be dirt. Rest your feet in this wonderful, serene, ancient forest. And then once you're relaxed, I would like for you to visualize roots growing from your feet into the earth. And let them go as far as your imagination would like. And I want you to settle in and feel the grounding that brings. So let's take a few moments and just relax in that and make that visualization. Continuing to be mindful of your breath. Thank you all for allowing me to share these few moments with you. Thank you, Lakon.
Hey, thank you, Monica. That was, it's just great that we can all just take a moment. Sometimes there's so many ways to relax the body, so many ways to meditate and just go inside. So we really appreciate you. Before we bring on our wonderful guest presenter, we're going to ask Mr. Grady Fowler to come back on to share with us another artistic expression. So, Grady, if you're live, we're ready for you.
Good evening. Sweeping the land of adventure, swarming the leaves of life, is warming, wonderful things nature receives, which makes not only ordinary leaves, leaves of wonder, leaves that make us take a glance now and forevermore. Oh, I'll have that chance. So heaven above, that let it flow, life within the leaves, only he would know.
Very, very sensitive, brother. Thank you. I'm going to ask Jacinta to come on and introduce our guest presenter for this evening, please. Can you unmute yourself, please?
We are very honored to welcome and have before us this evening Mechelle Davis. Mechelle is Community Blessings in Action, an experienced teacher that inspires others to honor who they are as well as who they are not. For over 15 years, Mechelle Davis has owned and operated the Yoga Hive Healing Art Wellness Studio in South Atlanta. The Yoga Hive Studio was the first African American owned and operated yoga studio in South Atlanta and even in the state of Georgia. The studio was featured in the 2018 Atlanta Tribune as one of the top 3 best studios in the city of Atlanta. She has served local, regional, and international communities with a message of total health and wellness through various mediums to include radio, television, panelist, workshop presenter, speaker, and program coordinator. She is a well-respected certified yoga therapist, meditation facilitator, and continuing education provider, holding several certifications in her field. Her full portfolio and extensive background in the healing arts can be found on the yogahive.org website. Her message is far reaching beyond the walls of her business, as she has been employed with Clayton County Senior Services for 15 years, providing therapeutic health and meditation classes for seniors. She is a wellness facilitator at Lake Spivey Palms Independent and Assisted Living, and she has also taught staff, faculty, and students at Morehouse College for the past 8 years. In 2018, Mechelle launched her second business, the Yoga Stuff and More LLC, a company that brings products and practices together. Her signature products and essential oil line brings products and wellness practices together for your well-being. Mechelle Davis is originally from Greshamville, Georgia, and grew up in Madison, Georgia. So she is a bona fide city country girl. Mechelle is married to Curtis Davis, and they have 3 grown sons and 2 grandsons. Master Aiden Davis, who is 4 years old and affectionately calls her grandma, not G or grandma, just grandma. And there's her sugar bear, little Master Camden. She loves them all dearly. Please join us As it is with great pleasure, we welcome Mechelle Davis.
Thank you so much, Jacinta, for that beautiful introduction. I hope I can live that out. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Well, I know you're muted and you say, well, I've gotten comfortable in my chair. Just throw your hands up and wave at me. I want us to really just kind of experience each other in a very comfortable, informal way. I give thanks to my family, my husband, Curtis Davis, my family, my sons and my grandsons, my daughter-in-law, Ashley. And I'm happy to be here tonight with you all. Thank you, Leighton and Jacinta, for inviting me. And also, I see a number of my students who have also logged on as well. And I want to say thank you to them, because it is because of them I am encouraged and inspired to do what I do. And they support me in so many ways. And it's just such a blessing. And so that gives me the confidence, and it makes me comfortable to be able to speak to you, because I know that my support system is here in the room. I thank you so much for that. So this evening, I get excited. I start out a little slow, and then I warm up, and then I have to like reel myself back in, because I'd have you here all night. But I do know we have an ending time, so I will try to be mindful of that. Thank you so much to Grady and to Monica for actually setting the pathway. That was such a beautiful meditation and a beautiful reading of the poems. I enjoyed them, and I know that you did too. And what I liked about Monica's offering to us is she allowed us to experience ourselves. And as Jacinta said, one of the things that I love for people to remember is be thankful and grateful. I say that all the time, not in vain repetition, but because I really mean it. And the older I get, I'm more thankful and I'm more grateful. And so I just really want you to know that this opportunity to sit and commune, because this is a communion. So I'm going to be a little bit informal, because I feel like I'm at home with you guys. We're just here, just having a conversation. And so I want to stay within the context and the content of what we're talking about, which is awareness, expansion, and movement. I was going to start with saying, let's open our hearts to divine will. Monica prepared us for that. Grady prepared us for that. So I know that your heart is already open to your divine will. What is your divine will? Is it something you create, or is it something that's been created for you? We are not victims of the universe. You are creators of the universe. So let's start with a reading that I have. I am willing. I am willing to say yes to God. Are you willing to say yes to God? When I say yes to God, I say yes to myself. What about you? As I answer yes to the high calling within me, I move in the energy and flow of God. I willingly open the door, my door of divine strength, and strength flows through me. I not only possess the strength of God, and you do too, I am the strength of God. I direct my strength as I discipline my mind. You must discipline your mind. I remain steadfast as I focus my spiritual eye. We all have a spiritual eye on the unseen and as well as the seen. I willingly move beyond the surface to explore the deeper aspects of my life. For I know it is the unseen that gives life to the seen. As I willingly go deeper into the depths of life, I rise higher in consciousness. I rise with greater understanding. I rise with greater love. I rise with greater power. The more willing I am, the higher I rise. The higher you rise too. The more willing I am to go deeper, I go and find the depths of my very soul. The eternal door is open. I am the door. You are the door. And I am open forever. I am that door. And I aim to be that door. I wanted to start there because I am willing is something that can help us move into action. You know, there's nothing like trying to do something or get someone to do something and they're being stubborn and just won't. And not only others, let's just make it personal. Have you ever tried or thought about doing something and you set the intention, you got your notebook and your journal out, you wrote it down, you did all those great things, and then later, maybe even years later, you still have not moved toward doing that thing that you say you wanted to do? Or am I the only one? But I'm pretty sure you've experienced that. The will of God that has been given to us from the very beginning of our lives, and many lives, all the lives that we've lived before and will live again. You see, spirit is infinite. Remember, we're energy beings. We cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. So we live many lives. That's what I mean when I say that. I'm talking about will. I'm going to tie that into the aim, the awareness, the expansion, and the movement. But I'm talking about a will that's packaged and comprised of all that we need. I mean, all that we need, not just to sustain ourselves here on life. We've been existing and surviving for a long time. And 2020 has really put us to the test. I mean, really held the feet to the fire, so to speak, to decide if we are sustaining ourselves. So we're not just wanting to sustain anymore, we're trying to live. But we're talking about living in a time that's compromising everything, our quality of life, our natural way of life. It's bringing everything into question. But so how do we do this? How do we aim? The mission, the tagline of Home of I Am. And I'm big on I am because I am is two very powerful words that you can say. And you may know this already. I know a lot of my students do. Let me give you the translation of I am. God is. When you say I am, you're saying God is. So we become more mindful of when I say I am, what do I actually mean by that? I am willing. God is willing. So now we're talking about your God self. You. How willing are you? There's many teachers, many authors, many motivational speakers have offered us tons of ways to actually embrace and embody this will that I'm talking about so that we can aim. You've read the books. I know that you have. So tonight, I won't be telling or sharing with you anything that you actually do not know. You're already operating in that higher consciousness because you're here. You're already willing to be open and receptive, if not to all, to some, that's for your highest and greatest good, because you're here. You want different, you want more, because why? You know that there's more. You know this. So give thanks with a grateful heart. We say thank you all the time, maybe. I hope you do. But are you saying thank you with a grateful heart? A heart that will allow you to continue to aim and aim high. Right away, I can really embrace the aim. When Home of I Am said that their mission was awareness, expansion, and movement, I said, yeah, I can get with that because that's the core of my teaching. In the practice of yoga, in the practice of qigong, in the practice of so many different healing modalities that we do, that's what it's all about. It's trying to encourage us, trying to bring us to a level of awareness. And so one of the things that I really, really like to do when I talk or teach is let's go and look at what Webster says about awareness. And so I did that. I went and just took a few snapshots. And so let's look at what Webster says, awareness. Because I don't want to just tell you anything. I want you to know we've taken the time to actually dig and find so we can express and embody what we're teaching, because we're trying to move forward. We're trying to grow. We're tired of being sick and tired of just going through the motions. We want more. Awareness is the knowledge or perception of a situation or fact. Now, we know facts can change over a period of time, but knowledge or perception, your level of awareness right now in the room that you're in. Look around the room. Look around right where you are and just look at something in the space that you're in, and see how aware you are of your physical being in that room. What do you feel and think about that room? Expansion, the action. Oh, now we're talking about doing something. The action of becoming larger or more extensive. Expanding. That's the first lesson that we receive when we come here on the planet. We have to breathe. Monica gave us the 4-count breath, breathing in on 4 and exhaling on 4. And the counting, there's been many people, Dr. Andrew Wells, one in particular, he likes the 4-7-8 breath. So there's been many ways that we can inhale and exhale, and many tools, tips, and techniques that we actually use to bring our awareness to that breath coming in. Because we know we have to breathe. We're breathing every day. But I'm talking about a level of awareness of your breath. And the counting helps you to slow down just enough so that you're aware of the inhale coming in as well as the exhale going out. Now, let me tell you why that's so important. When you first came and arrived on the planet, having been released from the mother's womb, umbilically connected, and then once that cord was severed and cut, the first thing that's required for you to do to stay here is to breathe. You don't have to have a level of awareness of the breath at that point. You're a baby. But we are aware that the baby must breathe. If the baby is unable to breathe or having some challenges or difficulties, then we have incubators, we have ways to actually help and assist. But if everything is working according to the design, the plan, you're going to inhale and then exhale. Why not exhale first? The first thing we do is take a breath in. We were breathing and connecting with the mother in a different kind of way. Once that cord was cut, we needed to actually allow this breath to come in and wake us up. So the breath activates the lungs, the heart, all of your organs. Every system in the body is under the command of the breath. When something's not right, the breath will shift and change. When you're upset, your breath will shift and change. When you're happy, your breath will shift and change. So that inhale is that breath that wakes us up and allows us to be open and receptive to all, but only that's for our highest and greatest good. But because we're free moral agents, we can be open and receptive to anything. It may not be for our highest and greatest good, but guess what? The Creator said, guess what? I have a way for you out. You will exhale and release anything that you don't need to hold on to. We don't call that oxygen. It is now carbon dioxide. So we pull it in. The breath does what it does, wakes us up, fuels us up, raises our level of awareness, expands us, because when you inhale, your body actually moves outwardly. There's the expansion and the movement. When it's done, it's completed its job and ran its course, you exhale, you send it out. Now, we don't need that part, but the atmosphere does. So now you're participating in the greatest exchange on the planet. That's your first financial lesson. You inhale and you exhale. You make the deposit, the withdrawal happens, you release it out, you become a distributor. But before you can become a distributor, you're a steward. So everything has a balance. Everything actually has a balance. So that breath is a breath that allows us to become aware. But you know what? Our lives will draw us away from that level of awareness. Just the regular stuff that we do on a daily basis. And we began, I told my class earlier today, not necessarily that we're taking it for granted, but it becomes so automated, we don't have to actually think about it anymore. We just breathe and continue to do what we're doing and move and go. So how do we stay connected enough with ourselves so we can be in that space of awareness? And what does that really mean, aware? I looked around at the space that I'm in. I'm aware of what's in the room. But what about my level of awareness physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, and socially? Those are the 5 areas that I like to cover in all aspects of what we do. Being aware of your physical body, how it feels, what it's doing, why it's doing it, without overanalyzing it. So I'm not suggesting that we overanalyze and get critical, but we're talking about awareness. I like things to be in a very practical space because it allows us to do it easily and effortlessly. Sometimes we believe, we've heard songs, I got to climb up the rough side of the mountain. Well, you can, if that's what you want to do, but you don't have to. I think you can do it easily and effortlessly. You have to find a way to actually get up that mountain. You can even become innovative with your logical and your creative thought and actually expand. Now we're talking consciousness now. These are levels that show us how to actually move to this higher level of consciousness. And I'm not talking about some exaggerated space in your mind that exalts you up to this hoity-toity, but actually just expanding your consciousness in a very real and practical way in your own household, on your jobs, whether you're working from home or you're going into an office. 2020 has been a gift to us. What? I heard a few people earlier today say, I just want this God-forsaken year to just be gone. 2020, when it came in, do you remember the celebration you had and the happiness that you experienced when you were so glad for 2019 to go? 2020 came in, we celebrated, we did all this stuff, and then came to a screeching halt. But we asked before this came to show us. As a matter of fact, my tagline for 2020 was 2020 vision, more clarity. Well, here it is, right in front of us. And it's showing us who we are as well as who we're not. And that's important because when you're talking about who you are, you can really embrace that. Oh, we love that. This is who I am. We make it up as we go. But what about who you're not? That part. We're constantly releasing and letting go of what? I want to release and let go all of my negative thoughts. I let them go, but then there's more that came. How many years I'm going to do this? Release and let go of my thoughts. Why not just embrace who you are as well as who you're not? And balance your thoughts. It's you. Because if you go out and try to crank your car, and before you do, take that negative post and release it and see how far you go. The car is not going to crank. So you see, negative and positive These are the dualities, the dynamics of what it takes to move things forward. That may sound like, well, wait a minute now, Mechelle, are you saying I should embrace negativity? No, you strike a balance with your negative and your positive self. What you thought was negative one day can be a positive on another day. So we have to understand the content and the context that we're putting this negative and positive, and then creating the struggle for ourselves to actually release and let go. What is your aim today? What is your level of awareness about you? Your expansion. How do you expand your mind and your heart? Is it too late? As we grow older, we say, well, only the young should probably be expanding their consciousness and moving forward. But look, our president-elect, 78, our VP, she didn't get married until after 50. So I think that we can rethink the whole age thing. 2020 has shown us so much. Has nothing to do with your age, has nothing to do with your color. It has to do with you. Your level of awareness, your expansion, and the movement that you want to make within you. And we all struggle with this. Now, because I'm telling you this, oh, don't think I get away free. Oh, no, this is a constant work of trusting and loving, nurturing, and honoring yourself right where you are as well as where you're not. Some days you're there. You feel like, yep, I'm on point. I got it. I get it. I choose peace. And then there's those days that you just second guess everything that you do, everything that you do. But I want you to know today that awareness, expansion, and movement is who you are. Even in our stillness, we're asking to be aware, to allow yourself to become your own observer so you can observe, not to judge yourself. And we do that. We judge, we criticize, we punish. I'm not good enough. I'm not ready. We do that forever and a day. But today, I am challenging you to release and let go of that and to just do. Call yourself into action and do more than just set an intention. Do more. Setting intentions are good, but I have something that's better than intention. Sometimes we set intentions, and because the intention didn't take place the way we wanted to or desired it to, we feel bad about it and we pull back and we have to hide all over again. So what I want to give you or leave you with today is inspiration. Be inspired. Find out what inspires you. You may have to do several things before you actually, and it's not one thing. Several things may inspire you, but figure out what that is. And if you don't figure it out, just enjoy doing it while you are inspired. Now, silence is something that can inspire you. And I have a reading that I want to share with you right now about being inspired and aiming. In the midst of my pain and the darkness of my sorrow, as I sit and wonder, will I even make it till tomorrow? My rambling feelings cease and surrender to a place where my heart has found peace and God bestows his grace. Where silence speaks the loudest, sometimes it even has to shout. Lean not to your own understanding. Your head will never figure this out. Let your feelings be your compass. Close your eyes and use insight. Let the darkness serve its purpose and lead you to the light, leading you to your light. Now, I want us to sit and experience that. We went through a meditation, but I want us to just sit and actually just be still with each other. This is like a communion, and we're just going to do this for 3 minutes. That's all. Can you sit and share your aim, your awareness, your expansion, and your just breathe and release the breath. Breathe, hold your space. Sense your body, your physical body. Scan it, top of your head, tips of your fingers, all the way to the tips of your toes. Every organ, every gland, every nerve, every fiber, every connective tissue, every sinew, every synapses, right down to your bones, the bone marrow, your red blood cells and your white blood cells that are willing to die for you. Just be aware that they're there for you. You've been gifted with them. Your mental body, your mind, give thanks for your mind, your ability to receive information, to process it, to translate it, and to recall it easily and effortlessly, and even discard it when it's not needed or even necessary. And sometimes it won't be. Your emotional self. I ask you to declare and decree and decide right now that you are stable in all of your ways. You can, you will experience and express every emotion that flows through you easily and effortlessly. No matter what it is, happiness, sadness, joy, shock, grief, surprise, joy, hurt, pain, jealousy, whatever it is, let it flow through you and be released. Your financial body, yes, not talking about your money. We need that. But your financial body is your energy bank. Reconcile your energy bank. Know how you're storing, collecting, and spending your energy. And your social body. That's the space that we connect and disconnect and reconnect. We connect, disconnect, and reconnect with the world, with others, and even with ourselves. We connect, reconnect, and disconnect. Give thanks for your level of awareness right now. You're more aware right now than you were before. Your level of expansion, your inhale and exhale is your teacher. That's your greatest teacher. Let me breathe. Breathe with me. And the movement and the stillness that works together and unite as one and brings us those gifted moments and experiences that we love so much. Take a deep breath in, long exhale. Give thanks. Give thanks. Now just lower your head, bring your head to your chest, and then raise and look up. Look up, and then look forward. And as I close, Father, Mother, God, we know that our zeal is our aim. And our aim is to be renewed, restored, and we operate when we are renewed, restored, and refreshed in an intense and compelling emotion that lights a fire in us. And this fire burns with desire to actually raise this level of awareness so we can do the things that we think about, that we dream about, and we want to move further than a dream. We need our dreams to become realities so we can live it out in this present age, right here, right now. So may all your powers be invoked so that you can do the master's will. Ashe, 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 ashe om. Peace and blessings to you.
Some blessings to you, Mechelle. We appreciate you so very much. You're always so very powerful. Um, I'd like to let everyone know that Mechelle has a wonderful business. It's Yoga Solutions. You can Google her, Mechelle Davis. Her business is in Hayfield. She does consultations on the phone. She does live sessions. She's just a wonderful person. I have personally expended some time and energy with her, and it has just been absolutely just fantastic. So always grateful to you. I want to thank you again, sister. And at this time, we'd like to open up the floor where we can have some sharing, something that has happened here on this platform that you'd either like to share, if there's a question to Mechelle that you'd like to ask of her, or if there's any takeaways, right? So we're wide open. It's just 9:03, so we're doing really well on the time. We'll stay open for a few more minutes just to respect everyone's time. But please unmute your mics, and we're all adults here. Let's open up and share.
Mechelle, I want to thank you so much for all of your wonderful words of wisdom. They impacted me where I needed to be impacted today. So I'm grateful to Lakon for pushing me to come on the platform, and I'm so very grateful for the message that I received. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you.
Anyone else, please feel free to unmute your microphone if there's any thoughts, again, any takeaways, any questions for our presenter. I'd like to go ahead and leave it open for a moment, so please feel free.
Hi, my name is Kier. I'm from Staten Island, New York. Thank you, Brother Lakon and his wife for sending me the invitation. I appreciate it. Miss Mechelle, well, my big takeaway was when you said, allow yourself to be your own observer. And what I took from that was that I am allowing everybody else to have decisions or opinions or suggestions on my own life. And in 2020, I was one of those throwaway 2020 as well persons, but it did open my eyes as well to say who I am and find out who I am and reinvent who I am. So I thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kiera. I appreciate you saying that. And that is absolutely true. Become the observer. And that's the gift that meditation gives us, to actually sit and be still and just observe what your mind does when you ask it to be quiet. And so it's quiet like a little child. You have to train it to sit. And so the first thing people think, I can't sit that long. Every Friday, and I invite you all, every Friday, for the last probably almost 20 years now, we have a meditation. It's free of charge. It's no charge, donation based. If you choose or not, it doesn't matter. You come in. It starts at 6:30 and we end at 7:30, so we can develop discipline for time, okay? And we're not kind of clashing with time. So I like to start on time and I like to end it on time. We start and then we end, but we hold the space, just sitting, and you just get a chance to observe and see what you do. Some people do well with a couple of minutes. Some people do well with all of the time. You can have your cameras off or on, but you get a chance to just practice sitting to bring the discipline, which is discipleship. And that's how you learn to follow after your faith, to follow after your wisdom, to follow after understanding, so that you can move in these principles and practices that we talk about, because we got to make it practical. We really do. But thank you for honoring the space. Ashe.
Mechelle, perhaps you can share the link for your Friday evening meditations in the chat room. I'm sure that there are some more folks who would love to join you on Friday.
Okay, yes, I sure will. I will put the website in the chat, and I'll ask Chris. My son Chris is on. Chris, if you could do that for me, I would appreciate it. Just type in yogahive.com in the chat. And so when you go to the Yoga Hive, you'll go to the classes, the online classes, and just register for the Friday meditation. And you only have to register the one time, register, and then you'll get links every Friday, whether you join in or not. So please don't let those emails be annoying to you and then put me in the spam or delete. But you can join in and then come in, leave when you want to, and just develop your practice. And so we've been consistent, and consistency is your friend. Consistency is key, and nothing beats the practice but the practice. We can read and talk about theory and talk about all these certifications, and I do this and I do that. But let me tell you something, if you're not actually doing your work, you ain't doing nothing.
We have a few more minutes. Is there anyone else? Any other thoughts, questions, takeaways, anything anyone wants to share?
Come on, y'all. We family. We can talk.
I I also wanted to come back on for a minute and just say how special and magical Grady Fowler's poetry is.
Yeah.
And I would like to know, may I have a copy of what he read tonight? Thank you, Grady.
That's excellent.
Thank you, Grady. That was beautiful.
They were both very.
We're going to close. We're going to close out with another one of his pieces. And Grady's a very special human being, and he has a lot of wonderful inner thoughts and journeys to share with the world. So thank you, Monica, for acknowledging that. Appreciate it.
Lacan, before you leave, also I wanted to let you all know about the magical movements. I wanted to share about the yoga. I'm a yoga therapist as well as a yoga teacher, teacher trainer as well. And so I wanted to also share, in addition to the meditations, we have a magical movement class that I specifically designed for the mature body. We don't say old or older body, but the mature body. And you say, well, I don't do yoga. I haven't, I'm not standing on my head. But this class is designed, it's a 3-day-a-week class, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 to 10. That time frame is good for you. And so we actually do a 5-week series, and then we take a break for a week and come back and do 5 more weeks. And so look at joining those classes. That's something you could do. Is $60 for the whole series. So that's going to be a very cost-effective way to have, even if you don't participate in each and every class throughout the week, but that's a good way to know that you're putting something together. If you don't have your own practice, now you may already have something that you're doing, and that's great. I commend you on that, and do continue doing that. And then there's other classes that we do throughout the week, myself, and I have a couple of other teachers that I bring in from time to time, so that if you want to spend that time with me, assisting you in developing a good, solid practice, not just for your physical bodies, because I don't just teach to the physical body, but we're looking at our whole self. Because if your body is good and your mind is raggedy, it's not going to work. You don't want no raggedy mind. That's the country girl falling out right now. Raggedy mind. Okay. So you want to make sure that your physical body looks good and feels good, your mental body, as well as your emotional self. And that's the core of the teaching practice that we do. And so I want to say thank you again for my students that are here, my family and all. I really appreciate you all and the support that you are giving me this evening. I love y'all.
Absolutely. I say, sister, it's so wonderful. Sometimes I've been feeling like we're all at this huge, big, galactic dinner table, if you will. And I think we're all kind of, in our own way, realizing that we don't all have to sit on top of each other's lap and eat out the exact same plate and eat the same food, right? So everybody's bringing tons of things now to the table. I think what we all just want to do is just be able to sit at the table, right? And kind of observe and share a little bit of food with each other. And if that works, or sit with the group that you feel like sitting with. And we have some powerful folks here. Brother Mechelle is here. He was our presenter last month, did a fantastic job. He's doing some great things online. There's a great podcast called Moves. There's Deborah and Michael. They have some wonderful, powerful things. The Sled Foundation, and they have a prana group that they introduced me to. So that's what's happening, right? So there's all this greatness, this I amness, if you will, that we're at least able to share with each other, even if it's virtually. It's really cool that we're getting this exposure to these wonderful gifts that we all have. So just really, again, Mechelle and Monica and Grady and Jacinta and all of our guests, I really just want to send you all some love and power and big heartfelt thanks. Great, if you can unmute your microphone and go ahead and close us out with another one of your powerful poems. And let us know the title of it, please.
It's unmuted.
Yes, it is.
Okay. This title is A Glance at Art. We perceive this art as something set to. We receive this art as truth. Art is not only unique, it's just one of a kind. You, me, ourselves. You, me, ourselves can be seen just as you could cast your vision through an art gallery. The artist's mind, you and I can be.
Very much, Greg. We appreciate it. With that, we're going to wish everyone a peaceful evening, a better tomorrow, and even more powerful week, and absolutely outstanding December. And 2021 is right around the corner. So we have another one coming up next month. It'll be Dr. Anthony Outler. I think he'll be our guest speaker. And moving into 2020, 2021, we're already booked to the end of the year, and we'll probably be doing it twice a month. I think it's halfway filled up. So just tons of people. Again, I like to encourage everyone, create your own, be creative. Just find out and explore all of these powerful people in your midst and in your community, and let's share it with the world, okay? Till then, have a wonderful evening. Much peace.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Peace be unto you all. Peace be unto you all. Peace unto you and yours. Be safe. Be well.
Be well.
Peace and blessings, everyone.
Peace and blessings.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Grady, thank you again. You did a wonderful job.
Namaste.
Thank you. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.